till they see sick. Do it right the first time, they all try to remix. Yeah, they grinded, but we grinded different. Tell them they time is ticking, but we time a fish. Bet not leave a minute, stop it. Something like the goat off in their pocket. Whole squizzy riding with me, who gon' stop it? My day.
It was once just an idea until breaking ground in November of 2016, and now here it is in all its glory. Spectacular SoFi Stadium here in metropolitan Los Angeles.
Today we start the new season with an AFC West Division battle right out of the gate
between the Las Vegas Raiders
and the Los Angeles Chargers. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
What now?
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Carr now to throw. They'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Now 1 for 1. A lot more to go. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here comes Cohen. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over.
Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 30. They started on the ground with Eckler. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
He'll buy some time right. Finds the open man, it's Mike Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for L.A. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll find Everett there, complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover two, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
They'll get this down to the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Jacobs.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On play action, it's Carr. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Carr. And that would be incomplete.
Coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So Carr will depart, and on comes the Raider kicker Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. The kick by Carlson is good, and the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy leagues.
Is that what they call
receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Chandler Jones from that outside linebacker spot gets in there. It's a loss of 9.
Chandler Jones is now over 100 sacks in his career and has had at least 10 in each of his last 7 full seasons. Las Vegas, they got real good, real fast when they landed him in the offseason.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Herbert now. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon. The 20. 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams trying to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Eckler again. And he'll be stopped up short as the tackle is made at about the 3. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal. Eckler.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down.
They'll run for it with Eckler. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. A chance to get some momentum here in the 2nd quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. In his own end zone, it's Carr. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. He's got room past the 30. Still on his feet. He's at the 40. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. So how about that for a backbreaker? Again, 99 yards.
And how about the audacity of the play call? When you're backed up that close to your goal line, usually you're just trying to run some type of a wedge play, a quarterback sneak, a dive, anything to try and create some room and take care of the ball. But that's confidence in your offensive line that they'll protect the guy throwing it, and he finds his guy for 99 yards. I love what they just did.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're
You don't
down.
want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you
Now
just
you
called
can
it.
go.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about a different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Over the middle, complete. It's Williams. And a good job defensively. They stopped him short of the first at the 32.
A gain of 7.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 2nd down, Jacobs.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Meanwhile, Carr's throw complete here to Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
1st and 10. Here's Carr. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Sebastian Joseph Day able to get in there and drop him behind the line. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by J.C. Jackson, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. The Charger drive about to get going. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
Abdul in the return.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive.
Oh, he's got a little daylight.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one good for 37 yards. Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better. Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Carr, he finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with a little gain.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Carr. Throw left side, taken in by Renfro. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands.
So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34.
Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Now 3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Up the middle with Eckler. Jordan Jenkins there on the tackle. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner, because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Jonathan Abram picks it, and the Raiders will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Throwing now is Carr, eluding the pressure right.
The open man here, Renfro. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another 1st down there.
They try and run on 1st down, but this one going to lose a couple yards as they get him behind the line.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Carr. Caught out right by Renfro.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
A 12-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
What now?
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs.
And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
Now Carr. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Oh, trying to get that to Adams, but that's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson.
And the Chargers force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. So that, Charles, may be the play that this defense has been looking for.
They've hung in there, and if they lose this game, it won't be from a lack of effort on their part. The key question is, can the offense finally do something?
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Anthony Averett picks it, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the 1st down sack. Herbert. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week one is your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And the Raiders have got him.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Max Crosby in there to get him once again. That's 2 sacks for him now here on opening day.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Williams.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
It's 4th down.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. And now here is another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Raiders are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
2nd and 5.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
On play action, now Carr. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
A Raider first down, Carter Renfro.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
74 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Carr going to look to throw. And that's complete to Adams.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Carlson on for the PAT. PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play.
Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Trayvon Merrick.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances. And that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Their catch made at the 25-yard line. The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive.
And now here is another interception. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football.
And the Chargers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Nate Hobbs.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything, Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the season opener.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Jacobs going to try the middle, and he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped